Hello YouTube, in this tutorial we are going to learn about Bootstrap for Carousel. I think that's correct term, Carousel. Look, I don't know. We're just talking about Bootstrap for slideshow, and that's the term they also use in documentation. A slideshow component for cycling through elements, images or slides of text, something like that. You can have many elements, many items in the slideshow. It's totally up to you. So let's just go with the simplest possible scenario here. We have three images, we can roll through it manually, we can just wait to slideshow to automatically start running, and yeah, we have arrows for manual thing, we have indicators down there, and official term here is indicators. Okay, now these images, they are into root of my website. The names are B4, Django and JS, so those are just JPEG files. So let's delete this carousel, this slideshow, and we will go from ground zero basically, because I want you to understand everything, because there is a couple of things we absolutely must understand here. Well, the first thing first, we must create general div for our slideshow, and here's why. We must absolutely use a couple of things here, specific classes and a couple of other things. So carousel, slide, we must use that. That's Bootstrap 4 thing, absolutely. And data ride must be carousel. And what is that basically? Well, the easiest thing to explain here is just to go to documentation and let me, that's attribute is used to mark a carousel as animating starting at page load. If you don't use that thing to initialize your carousel, you have to initialize it yourself. So the simplest possible thing to do here is just to use it in your general slideshow div immediately. Okay, and we also need to define ID here, and that's something that we define. It's totally at our will. So let's say slide. So this is general container. And yeah, when we are talking about containers, I'm just creating here a slideshow without rows and columns, because you know how your page will look like basically. So rows and columns, that's totally up to you how you will arrange elements on your page. We are just talking about here about carousel, about slideshow. Now, couple of other things. If you look into, I mean, you cannot look, I deleted everything. Oh yeah, so we have three things here: the images and controls and indicators. So let's go to those sections into our slideshow. The first thing is to create items, and class must be carousel inner. So this is general border, general div for actual content, I mean images in this case. And for every item you need to have specific class, carousel item. I typed that correctly, I think. And image source, which will be B4 JPEG. Okay, that's our image. And let's copy paste that down there. That's kind of template. Okay, so Django uppercase, okay, here, and JS, just JS. And now you will probably say that thing will work nicely. Well, let's see what we have. We have just pretty much nothing, and here's the reason. Every time when you're creating a slideshow, you need to set one item to be active. Okay, so this one here, active, and now you will see results. Just a second, I typed that, oh yeah, semicolon, I mean quote, active. And here's the thing, we don't have controls and we don't have indicators, so that's kind of issue. So let's create that. Okay, the controls, yeah, right, so let's create them down here. href that need to shoot to slide. So this is from here, okay, ID slide for our general slideshow container. So that's kind of our target, and class, specific class must be carousel control previous and data slide previous, and inside we must type span with class. You must type these things. I mean, don't try to memorize these things. Just copy paste them from somewhere on the internet or from this tutorial, whatever. Just don't torture yourself with memorizing these classes and then attributes and so on. The important thing here is to just get the general principle, and then you will know what kind of questions to ask on internet, and that's basically half of job done. So yeah, carousel control previous icon, and now we need to have a left arrow, so let me check that. Okay, so that works, so that's cool. And we have this problem, I don't know if you notice, see, we have cut off T here. Well, here's the thing, if you must type something else into general items. Just a second. Okay, here. Now, what is that? That is class D block W100, and you will do that for every item. And here is the reason why. Let me just find that from documentation on this page. So if we don't do that, see, we'll do that to prevent browser default image alignment. So basically, if you want to center your images into slideshow, then you must use D block and W100 on every item, right? So let me just copy that for every item I have, and that's a class, of course. So save, and I think that I fixed that problem with T. Oh yeah, so that's cool, that works. So next thing, yeah, right arrow, right? I will just copy this to save ourselves a little bit of time, and previous to next, data slide next, and control icon for next. And now I have a right arrow, so that works. That's kind of nice. So indicators, right? A lot of people will put indicators up here directly down from defining a general container. You don't need to do that, but you know, that's what a lot of people use. So why not? Why confuse yourselves with the different options? I mean, it depends how you think about those things, but yeah. So UL, we will use UL when we mess around with indicators with specific class, which will be carousel indicators. That's official name, and inside we will have a corresponding what's the term here? Corresponding leas for every image. Let me just type and you will understand. Data target slide. Is it slide? Oh yeah, it is slide. And data slide to where? To position 0. So here's the thing. This is classical programming numbering here. I mean, when you count things in programming, you will, in most programming languages, go from 0. So if we have 3 images, the first position will be 0. So for every item you need to have individual li here. So 0 for B4, and 1 for Django, and 2 for JavaScript. So how many images here? That many individual li's. So let's just copy paste that, number 2 and number 1, and this one is active, so up here we also need to type active. We must do that, you know. In between there is no need to be anything, but we are just, you know, creating the basic indicators. So let me just save that and see what's happening. We have indicators, controls, and yep, that works basically. Now here's the thing. If you don't set indicators, you can just scroll through your slideshow with what's the term, arrows. But it's nice also to have these indicators, because, you know, maybe some people just don't want to scroll with mouse left and right. They just want to, you know, click down there if you're creating some kind of album, gallery. Because I have 3 images here, but you can have, I don't know, dozens of them here, so it's kind of easier just to click to remember specific position and then to click onto that position. Well, it depends how you think about it, but that's how thing works basically. So yeah, now you know about slideshows, and let me just to repeat here everything, because it's extremely important to realize general principle here. So we have general container, and we must use this class and data write, and we must define specific slide, because we will use that all the time when we create indicators as a data target, okay? And also down there when we have controls here, okay, the same idea. And when we create lists of items, we must put that into general carousel inner div, and then for every item we must use carousel item, and for one we absolutely must set active to be active, and also we must do that into this, what's the term, indicators. And when you're creating the indicators, of course you must set target again. Did I mention that correctly? I mean, a couple of seconds before. I don't know, I'm losing my mind, it's a heat outside. Anyway, when you're creating it, you also need to define places. For every item you must have data slide to that and that specific number. And when you are messing around with controls left and right, don't forget to change previews and next. You can't have 2 previews, you know. If you have 2 of them, the thing will basically look stupid. You're just doubling information here, so see, nothing. I think that I'm going to end this playlist right here, because that's pretty much everything that you need to get yourself into Bootstrap 4. Not just that you can create a simple website with jumbotrons and with different components on your page with Carousel, and you have that dynamic feeling about your site. So the important thing here is that you know how to basically ask questions and how to read documentation. And documentation for Bootstrap is one of the nicely structured documentation I saw on internet. So they did a really nice stuff, and the website looks nice. It's not aggressive, you know. You have some project and the website is totally confusing, but Bootstrap 4 documentation is absolutely awesome. For every component you have a lot of things here to read and practice. So yeah, we did a nice job here, and I'm going to end this playlist here for beginners, and see in next tutorials, which will be dedicated maybe for Bootstrap for advanced things or for another programming languages. I don't know. In any case, see you next tutorial.